Welcome to the AlmighTees channel. We're going to change gears in this week's video. We were supposed to do part 4 of the multi-part series, My Journey into and Through the Screen Printing Industry, but I really felt I needed to do this video since the subject matter has been on my mind a lot lately. So in this week's episode, I'm asking the question, should you buy a DTF printer? And we're going to talk about that next. I understand the excitement and the recent growth of DTF transfers. So the question that I asked you earlier, I'm asking myself the exact same thing. So let's talk about it together, shall we? Do you have a real need to expand into DTF in addition to the garment decorating techniques that you may offer? Or even as a business venture completely on its own? Do you have the demand? Are you getting more requests to print images with more colors than you can handle with your current setup? For example, full color photos on small quantities? If you're answering yes to many or all of these questions, you may want to think about buying a DTF printer. But before you do, have you considered outsourcing your DTF printing to a dedicated DTF transfer company? You let them handle the equipment, dealing with the upkeep and the maintenance. But the things that you do have to think about is their turnaround time, shipping time if you do plan on buying from out of state, and shipping costs. So if you're still with us, that means that you're still considering buying a DTF printer. Now, the first thing you need to think about is, what printer am I going to get? I've based this into 3 main categories, and that is buying a Epson wide format desktop printer and converting it into a DTF printer. Now, there are some things that you need to think about with that. Number 1 is, if you put any ink other than Epson's ink, you automatically void the warranty, meaning that if something goes awry with converting it into a DTF printer, you just bought yourself a really expensive paperweight. One of the other things you have to think about if you're going to go that route is that those print heads were not designed to use the type of ink that you're going to be using in DTF. So that could come with its own set of problems. Now, I'm not saying that you can't do it. You just need to do your homework, and then you need to do your research before going this route. You can go up a notch and you can get a craft or a hobby or a small business starter printer, which is basically a 13-inch printer that prints on 13-inch wide media, and it comes with the full gamut of all things that the major brands have, and that is the printer. It also comes with some shaker and an oven, and I've even seen one model recently that has all of that for under $3,000. So they're fairly affordable. Nothing to sneeze at, but it's still an investment, but much cheaper than the third option. And your third option is a commercial sized inkjet printer, which usually come about the smallest they come in, if I'm not mistaken, are a 24-inch wide that prints a 22-inch wide image. So a lot of these companies that you see offering 22-inch wide gang sheets, it's with a 24-inch inkjet printer. Now, those heads, they're commercial machines, but one thing that you have to think about and can really take into consideration is this, and that is cost. Is that the amount that it's going to cost you to buy a commercial printer versus the next step down is considerable. So unless you just have a lot of money to throw around, that might be something to think about. So when it comes to these 3 options, some other factors that you really should think about, and that is the space. You got to have the space for the particular type of unit you're interested in. You got to have ventilation. One of the other things is it's got to be in a climate controlled space, and ideally at about 50% humidity. So you're going to need a humidifier in the room with the printer. Also, you have to think about, where are you going to be purchasing it from? Are you going to be purchasing it from an American company where they have American tech support and hours? Or if you consider buying it from China, which is going to be the cheaper option, but you're going to be at their mercy when it comes to when they're open for business. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think China is 12 hours ahead. So if it's 6 o'clock in the evening, it's 6 o'clock in the morning there. So you may have to wait into the late evening hours, early morning to be able to even get in touch with tech support if you decided to go that route. One of the main reasons why I wanted to talk to you about this subject is because I, too, myself, am thinking about buying a DTF printer. I'm seeing more and more of a need for it in my current screen printing business, and I'm not going to stop doing screen printing. I think there's always going to be that place in the market for it, but I do see a need. I just can't decide which route I want to go. I'm thinking more leaning toward the hobby, kind of the small business starter printer over the Epson, converting an Epson, just because of that these printers I'm hoping are designed with DTF in mind, instead of trying to convert an inkjet that's using primarily dye or pigment based and then completely converting it over. I understand that people are doing it and having much success. And in each one of these options, you have to give much consideration to what is the best for you and what you're trying to achieve. So I hope that you found this video helpful. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, if you have any thoughts or ideas, please leave in the comments. I'm more than willing to start a community of people that are considering this new technology and what it can do for you in your business or as a business. So we thank you for your time. We thank you for watching. We hope that you would subscribe to the channel, that you would like this video, give it a thumbs up, and please come back and see us again soon. We enjoy doing this. We hope we provide value for you and your life. We thank you, and we hope to see you soon, and we'll see you again in this next video.